For this part of our session, we will be looking at developing the AI, how we can become emotionally intelligent as well as to develop empathy. Now, what is emotional intelligence? Have you ever heard this term before? Emotional intelligence is just a big term to mean that you're able to deal well with others, you can manage yourself, you can motivate yourself and others, you understand how you feel, you respond appropriately to everyday situations, and you have the ability to control, perceive, and evaluate your emotions. Now, there are different ways that we can be emotionally intelligent, and the first one is that we have to be self-aware. We have to recognize our emotions and the effects of our emotions when we put them into actions. We have to self-regulate, which means that you control your emotions. Another one is motivate. We can have clear goals and a positive attitude. We can have empathy where we understand how people feel and have social skills where we can communicate properly, get along with others, and also learn to lead people. Now, there are some major benefits in being emotionally intelligent. Firstly, we can make good decisions. We also can get along with others and build true, meaningful friendships. You can be a good leader and learn to handle some really tough social situations. So how do we develop our emotional intelligence? Well, the first thing is we have to acknowledge and see the need to have empathy, and we'll talk about that a bit. You can express how you feel in words. Say, I feel this way. Another part is to actively listen and to use skills that can properly solve problems. Now, how do we have empathy? It's easy. We can make an effort to understand how others feel. It's like putting yourself in their shoes. So if someone is feeling sad, we won't laugh. We would understand that they are sad and we have to treat them as if they are not feeling in their best mood, and maybe we can help understand them. We can also respect people and their different views, because not everybody will agree to things my way or your way, but we have to respect persons' different point of views. You see, boys and girls, we all face challenges on a daily basis. This is a normal part of life, and these challenges can cause us to have certain emotions. So when we do feel differently in these situations, the first thing to do is acknowledge our feelings. Even if others feel a different way, this is how I feel. But also remember to respect and have empathy when dealing with others who may have different opinions and different emotions than us. So as we recap our session, I want you to remember the following: that we can use our emotional intelligence in our everyday life. So when we look at the COVID-19 pandemic and emotional intelligence, we realize that online learning can be so challenging, but we can use these skills to help us cope. You see, it is normal for us to get emotional when we face challenges. But remember that there are consequences to the ways we choose to express our emotions. So let's look at this example. You may be angry about something, and we can have a healthy response like deep breathing, but an unhealthy response will be fighting. You may be feeling sad, and a healthy response will be to journal and write down how you feel. But it would be unhealthy to isolate and stay by yourself all the time, every day. You may be afraid or be fearful, and a healthy experience would be to talk to someone about it. But an unhealthy experience would be keeping it to yourself. Do you see that with each feeling, we can respond to it and express our feelings in healthy and unhealthy ways? Always remember, boys and girls, that we may not be able to choose how we feel, but we can choose how we respond. So always choose wisely and be sure to always respect others how they feel, and have empathy. We will be looking at problem solving, fixing problems the right way. Our word for today is smile, and this happens when we solve problems the right way. So think about it. Have you ever had a problem but didn't know what to do? Well, today we will be looking at ways that we can deal with our problems and manage them the right way. So let's jump in. Life is filled of challenges or problems, and these are basically situations that are difficult to deal with or control. When trying to resolve conflicts, it helps to have a way to think about the problem and to attempt to solve it. And we can do this by using our problem solving skills. We can use different steps to help us come up with solutions that work. So when we solve problems, well, it is really a personal strength. Problem solving skills help us to solve problems or issues quickly and efficiently. Yippee! Now, how do we go about doing this? It's pretty simple. But before we look at these steps, we really have to remember that we have to try and be respectful. We are not to yell and call persons names, as well as we don't blame others. So let's look at the steps. Step 1 would be identify the problem. 2, think about the solutions. 3, look at the consequences for each solution. Then 4, give it your best try. 5, identify who can help. And 6, review and fix what is not working. So let's begin. When we identify the problem, you are focusing on your real problem. What is the real issue? And try to gather all the facts. Next, think about all the solutions, like all the different things that you can do to solve the problem, both good and bad. Next, another way we can look at making our choices will be something called the wheel of choice, where we can explore different options, maybe 2 to 3 from the problem solving choice wheel. So we can tell the person to stop, walk away, talk about it, apologize, go to our next activity, make a deal with the person, ignore it, or you can share and take turns. Another one would be to look at the consequences for each solution. So if you decide to talk about it, what can happen? Or if you decide to fight about it, what can happen? A consequence is really trying to find out what will happen if you make a decision. So you have to be honest and reasonable. Sometimes you may want to do a bad thing, but that may not always work out best. Another one is, after you look at all the options, give the best solution a try. So you choose the best choice that has positive consequences and benefits for everyone involved. And another part would be to identify who can help. So we have to look for the right persons who can help us with our solution to ensure that we can do it. So sometimes it may be our parents, a teacher, a friend who can help us when we make a choice. And sometimes we may have to review. Sometimes you make a decision, but it doesn't always work. So you check and see. And if it is not working, repeat the steps to make sure you go back and choose the best solution. So in this picture here, we see 2 girls and they are fighting for a swing. What is the problem here, you think? How would you solve them? Let's see in our next slide. So first, we identify that the problem is that 2 students want to use the same swing. The options could be they could fight over it, they can share the swing, no one could use the swing, and there are many more, but these are just 3. Consequences: if they fight, someone can get hurt. If they share, they can have it equally and be happy. And if no one uses it, no one will be happy. So we make the choice to share the swing, and we get help. We can have a friend time to know when the next person has to come on, so that we would be fair. And also we can review. If we realize that this worked, we can say we're going to stick with this, but maybe next time each person will have a longer time. So when we use this method, we have to remember that persons may have different opinions from us. So we have to respect their differences and always remember that sometimes it's okay to agree to disagree. So when we use our emotional intelligence, have empathy, understand how other people feel, listen, and know that things will not always be your way. Express your feelings openly and honestly and in the right way, and find a good balance. We're going to strive so that there would be a win-win. And remember that we have to use our values to make good choices. So as we end our session today, remember that problem-solving skills helps us to overcome challenges, increases our confidence, and it makes us stand out. So remember, deal with the problem. Break up the problem in smaller parts and don't attack people. Tackle the smaller parts and listen to other suggestions, and sometimes we can look for creative ways to deal with the issue. So, having learned more about the problem-solving process, use your skills when faced with different and difficult situations. Remember to do your session evaluation, and I wish you all the best as we end our session today. Bye-bye, everyone.